This is yours truly, Josh Norman, J-No24, aka The Dark Knight, right here in my very own backyard of Charlotte, North Carolina. Love you, Queen C. Always been good to me. And I'm with my brothers here. And this is the NFL Players Second Acts podcast with your boy Roman Harper and Pete Tillman. All right, yours. I'm out.
This is the NFL Players Second Acts podcast. I'm Roman Harper, and yes, I got my co-host right here, Charles Peanut Tillman. I love the salmon shirt.
Appreciate it, man. I ate some the other day, and I just figured I might get the shirt and just keep it going.
I like it, bleeding through. Anyways, we got a great guest in here for us, man. A little short and sweet, man. A guy that I look at as like a younger brother. He means so much to me. And Peanut, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about my man, Josh Norman, 12-year NFL vet, 5th round draft pick to the Carolina Panthers, where we were once teammates. We all were teammates at one point in time. From the great, now it is great, Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, which I just love saying Chanticleers. J-No, what's up, baby? How you doing, man?
What's up, man?
What is a Chanticleer?
It's a bird.
It's a bird?
Yes, fable bird. It's almost like the gamecock, but like it's more mystical.
Yes.
Like a phoenix?
Yeah. Okay, similar.
Okay.
I mean, but you know, it's
weird,
teal though.
okay.
It's teal.
It's teal,
As
yeah.
they say, bleed teal.
Yes.
It's almost like, you know, bleed blue with
I got you. I got you.
Same thing.
Okay, so for all those that don't know, so my man J-No pretty much walked on in college, correct? Walked on in college, slept on the couch for a semester or a summer, and then made the team and became a flat out baller.
Yeah, that was wow. Listen, y'all setting the scene. Okay, y'all setting it up. So, man, I tell you, this has been quite just a movie in itself, and it's a continuation of it. And just me coming through South Carolina, born and raised, 5 brothers, and coming up through that household, and just, you know, being able to be I don't want to say physical guy or a mindset of that, but you had to eat or be killed mentality, because you had older brothers that was literally like, they're not going to take it easy on you. They're not going to take a light on you. They're going to take your food. They're going to do all these kind of things that older brothers do. And it's just like, all right, well, how you going to fight back? So I had to learn at an early age, like survival of the fittest. And it was a hierarchy. So, you know, how the hierarchy is.
Where do you fall with the
brother.
brothers?
I'm still 4. Like, even today, I'm still kind of like 4. I mean, I kind of, you know, have my weight around a little bit, but I'm still that younger brother, and how they see me as. So for us, it was more or less, we wanted to get out of Greenwood, South Carolina. So we had offers on Division 2, 3 schools, like full rides. And I had one that was University of Georgia. It was pending. I ain't gonna get into that story. That's for another day. But I went to Coastal, walked on. Yeah, slept on this couch. Actually, I was having a job while I was playing. So I was a mental health technician, working at the Lighthouse with DSS and DJJ kids. Having a whole clipboard, writing them up. Sometimes you may have to put a little bit of restraining order on them. They got out of line.
So you was beating up kids?
I was not beating up kids
So
now. Time out, Peanut. Time out. I was not beating up kids. The translation was that I was doing my job and I was restraining them from hurting themselves.
I got you. Continue, please, sir.
So I did that. I did that for actually 2 years, honestly. And I had walked on, but I was at Horry Georgetown Technical College first. So I had to get classes to be able to bridge on into Coastal Carolina. So walked on there, saw the team. I already knew that, this was going to be cakewalk, just because situation I was already in.
Yeah.
I mean, going to try to do Georgia and then coming here, it was just, it was night and day.
Yeah.
But I did it. My brother was doing it and he was killing it. So why would I not kill it?
Right.
So we was there. He played, and I only played one time with him on the field. And that was when we was with, I think it was in North Carolina Aggies. It was A&T who was on the field with each other for 4 plays. And I think they tried me on one of the deep balls, picked it off, came over to the sideline, handed the ball. And I was
That's a great first memory.
Appreciate you, brother. That was my first pick too. So it was just like, that kind of like coasted me off into the Coastal entire time I came there. Now they offer me a full ride my sophomore season.
Of course.
But I walked in with some Georgia shorts on. And I kind of like,
of course you did, Josh.
I kind of like,
of course you
threw
did,
them off.
Of course, Josh Norman walked
because,
in.
Bro, I was getting paid. They wasn't paying me.
Here with some Saints gear on.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, this
is pre-NIL. It's not like, bro, they ain't paying me.
Yeah, they wasn't. Like, literally, I was literally working still at the mental health technician. I was still working at the lighthouse, trying to pay my way to go to school. Like, I didn't ask my mom and dad. I just had to make it. I had to find my way.
So, Josh, tell me this. Your coach at Coastal Carolina had this really, really famous clip at one point in time. He was talking about, we got too many cats on the field. We need some more dogs. And wait,
do the cat. What was the cat?
What the world?
And all the wristbands. The coach went on for like a 3-minute reel. And I was told, Josh, from another teammate, another source, yes.
Okay.
That he was probably referring to you. That he needed you to be more of a dog. You were doing too much. You were worried about your look too much. It's always Josh got something going on. He can't just go out there and play.
Not J-No.
Not J-No.
Not me.
I think he was just Josh at the time.
Yeah, I was just joshing. Josh was just being Josh.
Is this true, Josh?
Well, I won't say it was true, and I won't say it wasn't true.
Okay.
But what I will say is, you look good, you feel good, you play good. And if you play good, somewhere down the line, somebody's going to pay good.
No doubt.
So it's like, you got to make it make sense.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, if you know that I'm going to go out there and I'm going to I already beat these guys doing practice. Not even beat them. I whooped their ASS doing practice, drug them off, and then had a practice after that practice. Why would I not come and put on my Saturday's best for performance? Yeah. Because it was a show, right? This is what we are. We are entertainers, modern day gladiators, right? So I'm going to put on a show, whether you like it or not. Like, you're going to have me out there.
This is exactly why I wanted to ask that question.
That makes sense.
I'm just saying.
That makes sense.
I thought I knew. Yeah, I definitely know that.
You got to have me out there.
Yeah.
Because ain't nobody else going to be behind me that's doing what we're doing.
Right.
So, I mean, it was just one of those things where mindset was that I'm going to go out here and be at my best. And I needed these people to actually come and watch the game.
Right.
So you got to put on some type of show.
Yeah. Where do you think that mindset comes from, though?
Well, I think it comes from dramatic arts. A lot of it comes from dramatic arts. Because when I came into Coastal, I majored in dramatic arts. I.e., reason why I majored in dramatic arts.
What is dramatic arts, first of all? Like, I don't even understand.
So it's theater.
Okay.
So it's theatrical.
I got you.
It's play, it's going through, and you being like Romeo and Juliet. Right? I know, I'm giving y'all nuggets, right? So,
I like it.
So Romeo and Juliet, and it's like you had a stage room. Mm-hmm. Robin Russell was the first person I met there, but Linda Kirkendall, and then it was Rita Smith. So those are the 3 main people that kept me in Coastal Carolina. By far. Like, without those guys, probably wouldn't be sitting here talking. I probably would have been somewhere else. But it's just, Linda Kirkendall was the person who actually brought me in. Rita Smith was the person I actually ended up staying with some of the time because obviously situations where I was living. And she helped me out with gas money and certain things. But then Robin Russell was my stage, like she was my teacher. And so I went into class, and that was the first class I got an A. All the rest of them, I was like a 2.0 guy. I was like a C at best.
Yeah.
Reason why my mindset, and I always told Linda this because she was my guidance counselor. Just like, I'm really only here to just play ball. I'm not really here to do the whole minutia of school. I don't even like school. I'm doing it because I really want to just go and be somewhere else and like do what I love to do. And that's play a game and play the game. And so that is kind of how I got into the line of being in dramatic arts, because the only way I really could stay in school because I would get A's because I would just be in a whole nother world.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they think those guys are like being in theater world. They are like the weirdos of the school. I guess I fit in that boat, and that means comfortable. so I kind of like went on.
Some call them weirdos. I was comfortable.
But no, it was just like, be yourself. So I be myself, and I got an A. And it was just like, dang, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so what happened was to change. Coach would actually, they end up moving practice from in the mornings to at night. So my major had to change from dramatic arts to something else, which was like, okay, that's going to be a kind of hard pass because this is what I was good at. And so I had to do something like communication. So I majored in communications, and I was through Linda Kirkenhall's like door at that point. And she like carried me all the way through like my second half of like Coastal College. So that's kind of like, I mean, honestly, that's how I take the games. I literally use them as a theatrical show.
Okay. All right. So you got one, or you want me to go? Okay, I got it.
I'm kind of speechless right now.
I got it. So here we go. So Josh, you had been here 2 years prior to me getting here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I got here in 2014, and I talked to Coach Steve Wilkes after I signed, and he told me about you. And so what I did was I got your number and I called you, and I said, I want to come break bread with you. I said, I heard things about you, and I want to make sure like I introduce myself and make sure that you know me and I know you.
It's a vet move.
And I know that if I'm going to be successful here, which I want to make sure I reestablish myself, that you can be somebody I can bring along with me. So you were the first person I actually talked to and hung out with once I got here. And I want to know, kind of walk me through that situation when, like how you felt when I approached you, and then what we discussed, you can kind of share with everybody. Cause I thought that was one of the biggest moments, because after that, not saying that had anything to do with your success, but Josh started to become J-No.
Bro, that was like the ultimate respect, like to do something like that, because you got to think about it. We was young.
Yeah.
It was like the young and dumb crew, right? So we would kind of like do our like own thing, and J-No had his own like area and his own stuff, and like, don't touch it. Almost like my brothers, like, this is my shirt, that's like my jeans. Why are you in them?
Yeah.
And if you're in them, we're going to fight. Like, that was territorial, right? Because of the guys that I had that was like over me, like those captain and all those other guys. And I was just like the redheaded stepchild, which cool, it is what it is. I knew that feeling before because of my brothers. Be as it may, that's what I walked into. So cool, I'm gonna take it as that. But when you did what you did, that was the first time I actually had like a role model or someone that could actually, I can respect in a position of authority, or in my room that I looked up to say like, all right, it's not that you came at me in such a way that you was trying to change anything. It was more so or less, I'm here, I'm with you all every step of the way. And if there's something that you need or a change, just let me know. Then you became Roman the Wise. Then you became the gray hair, gray beard kind of guy. Like, all right, if Roman says something, I'm going to cool it, or I'm going to go this kind of way. He's probably the only one that can talk me off the ledge.
The thing about Josh that people don't know, right? Because Josh wasn't even playing that much my first year. And then all of a sudden, Josh got out there versus Smitty when everybody was acting scared against him against Baltimore. And Josh never left the field after that. And Josh has this sense of confidence. It's almost like ignorance is bliss at times. Like, he doesn't even know what he doesn't know. And that's a good thing in football sometimes. Yeah. Because if you don't know who that guy is across from you, and he's just a guy, like, even if it's Calvin Johnson, I don't know him, I'm just going to play him like he's just a guy. versus if he's Calvin Johnson, how I look at him, I may be a little bit fearful or think about it too much. And that was the beauty of watching you grow, Josh. It was like you didn't even know what you did.
You guarded the man, not his reputation.
Never.
And that's what you got to do. You got to guard the man, not the reputation.
Yes. And so then getting Peanut in the room. And then so now we had a corner that was with Josh. And both of these guys are bigger than me. So 2 really big corners. And it would be the funniest thing watching Peanut, who's trying to be a good example, but really can't control his mouth in the meeting. Like he just always blurts out first thing that comes to mind. Is that true?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, okay. All right. He can't help himself. And then you got Josh, who's laughing or giggling or maybe doing like some paperwork. Like he's paying bills, taxes. It's the craziest thing I ever seen in my life.
Oh my God.
He's eating lunch when nobody else has lunch. Like, hey, Josh, where you get lunch from? He had the lunch person. I don't know if you had him on payroll, but you always had.
Bring it.
They would bring Josh.
Meetings started at 8 o'clock. J-No come in at 7:59, maybe 8:01. And then somebody would knock on the door and bring him the food. I was like, what the?
Josh had meals ready to go. Yeah. Brought in. He'd be doing whatever he'd be doing with his papers. And he was locked in. But we had this rule, just like kind of letting J-No be J-No. And so it was really a blessing to see you continue to grow and do what you got to do.
Yeah. And it was just, let's touch on those segments, right? Because Peanut coming in now, and it's just like, all right, Peanut adding a new flavor to this whole game now.
It added a lot to your game.
Oh my gosh, did it ever? Like, I don't think that there's been a more impactful person that was a part of my game than Peanut. And I don't know if you know that.
I didn't.
Because reason why I say that is because it was a challenge for me. And he probably looked at it as, well, I'm this older vet and like, this is how we're going to do it. But I still had my young moxie in me that was just like, all right, I'm not going to let this old head show me up.
No doubt.
In the sense that it was a competition. Mm-hmm. It was an inter-networking competition that I saw what he did. And like some 40, I don't even know how many punch outs you had, but like it was a freaking record. And I wanted to add that to my tool belt. Right. Like, cause I had this whole Batman tool belt. I could pull out whatever. Like, if you tell me this press belt, I had that. You tell me jump jam, I had that I can pull out. You tell me, hey, make a big play, pick, I had that in my arsenal. Shoot. One thing I didn't have is what Coach Steve Wills always would say, go punch the ball out, get at the ball. Who else to do that? You know, you're not going to say if your parents tell you something, you're not going to do what your parents tell you to do, right? You got to have somebody else tell you. So Coach Wills was like my parent at the time telling me how to punch the ball out, but you ain't never do that. He's showing me some old game tape from back in like the 70s or some 80s, like showing me how you did it. But like that ain't affecting me because I don't see a person on the field doing it. But then when Peanut actually arrived and was doing it, it was just like a new toy or a new Game Boy. Like, I gotta have that.
Yeah.
Like, it gotta come in my arsenal some way, somehow. Because I'd done it before, but I never had the intent. I never took the intent of like actually slowing down and watching how it was really done from like the best who's ever done it.
Yeah.
So why not learn from that by watching as a young guy? And so I kind of picked the technique up from it. And it was just like being a ball hawk is not just taking the ball out the air. It's being the ball hawk on the ground as well. Because guess what? They don't throw it to you. So what do? You just sit around there and pick daisies all day? Like you just sit over there with your thumb, up your rear? Like what do you do?
Right.
Guess what? I go find me a play. And how can I find a play? Because that ball is worth what? $1 million.
Millions.
Millions and millions. So I'm going to go get it.
Right. And
I'm going to get it on the ground or by air. Which one, however it comes, I'm going to get it. Because you got to become you got to be as Wick was to say, don't just play the game, become a part of the game.
Right.
Right. And so now I'm seeing things in slow motion. Things are slowing down. It's almost like the butterfly effect. When that ball is coming and the runners, he's not looking at me. He's probably looking at the other guy. I'm coming right for it and I'm throwing it in there. And that's the main thing I can say that I really appreciated when he came here. I feel like that elevated my game to the next level as well. So you two really, and then bringing Kurt along was truly impactful for me to do what I was able to do that year and then lead the group that was with me.
Yeah.
It was just a mix made in heaven for us in that defense, as you probably know.
Yeah. I guess what I want to know is we've talked several times about like when we came out and when we knew there was a moment in our career, college, when we knew we could make it at that next level. Mm-hmm. At what point when you were at Coastal did you know you could make it to the league?
Before I got Coastal.
Even before you got there?
Yeah.
Like 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade?
I think it was like my 10th, 11th grade.
Okay.
Maybe around then. 12th grade really enhanced it though. I played 5 positions in one. Like I was keep turn, punt, return, played kickoff. Then I played defense and offense. I received defense. Yeah.
So this was that one game you was just like, oh, I'm going to the league just off that one game or?
No, it was just like, it trended up. Like I watched, like I said, how I watch you guys, I watched my older brothers as well. Yeah. So like what they did, the pitfalls maybe they had that I didn't walk into or things that they done to where it's like, okay, I can tweak here that they was great at. Like I was always competing with my brother that was next in front of me, Mario, which I went to Coastal with. So it was like, all right, if he did this, I'm going to do that. Mm-hmm. And so I always knew that cream, I always say cream is going to rise to the top, baby, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Like, if you like that, they going to come. That's why, like, all this stuff these kids in now is like, it's just so wild. They all get caught up in what school you go to or what you doing here or what you doing. Bro, if you at the lowest of the lowest of schools, what does that matter what you do?
Yeah.
If you go out there and you bust tail and you at the top of everything, they gonna come and see and find you.
Yeah.
It's just they see you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so it's not really in that space that you have to be that way. You have to be maintaining who you are, you know, and what you can control, not so much everything else.
All right. What is your welcome to the NFL moment?
Hi. Welcome to the NFL training camp. Training camp. It ain't like it is today. Not close. But that was my welcome to the NFL when Smitty literally went out there and just ragdoll. I forgot the corner name. He was a white corner though.
You don't have to bring him up. So.
I just forgot. But he just not even abused him. He used him as a tampon. And it was the worst of the worst. I mean, it was bad. Awful bad.
I never even heard that before.
I mean, it was bad.
I've never heard that reference.
Listen, I'm just saying, it was just, I'm just trying to, hey, a metaphor, hey, you understand it.
Yeah, you do.
So
that
it's
is,
just
that is using it. Yeah, that is using it.
You put that in perspective, and I saw that, I'd be damned.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna happen to me. We gonna throw blows before that happens.
I'm gonna fight you.
Listen, I already know what you did, Kills. I'm not him. So totally different. So it's just like on the field, and it's almost like, you know, it was a respect thing. It wasn't so much of a like, all right, we're gonna really go out there and go blow to blow. It was just, I'm gonna hold my ground, and you're gonna know I'm gonna hold my ground, and I'm not gonna move from this mark. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're trying to get over this mark, you're gonna have to go through me.
Right.
And that ain't about to happen. So I don't know what you want me to say to you. But I'm not him and I'm not them. I'm me.
Yeah. I got like 2 things I got to bring up. I think they're so crucial. Number one, your situation was one of the rare situations in NFL, right? Where you got franchise tagged and then they took the franchise tag back. Like, I don't think that ever happens, right? And then you had this like period of like however many days where you can go be a free agent now, when before you were not a free agent. It was like I don't think I've ever seen this case in any other time. So have you seen this?
No, I'm saying that's the one time. That's the one time.
So I want to know, what was that like? Because I think the fans and everybody, they were so sad here in Carolina, they all want to know. And I think people need to know. Just kind of walk us through that whole situation.
Only in Carolina, I can say that. Only in Carolina. I mean, you got to think about this for a moment, right? I've been in Carolina blue and blue and through my whole entire life. Since I was a knee-high acorn baby, right? 30, well, it was really 27 years of my life. I literally it's the same state, kind of.
Yeah.
South Carolina, North Carolina. Drafted by the home team. So why would I want to leave? You know what I'm saying? Right. There's no point. Like, of course, I'm at the top of my game. So you got to pay me as what that should be. And I get it. Being here in Carolina is kind of like, we got a reputation where we really don't, we want to eat on defense. The line is going to eat. They're going to get paid. Q going to get paid. Offensive lineman. But it's just like, when it comes to our secondary, is always that filler positions where he's that 1 year guys to where they come in and they just keep it going. And there's no real longevity there because they have guys on 1 year, 2 year deals, and there's nobody that extended that gap. And so I come along and I'm here, I'm homegrown, I'm in your backyard, and yet you give me this and I'm supposed to accept it. But yet I'm at the top of the league at my position. And even so much running up for the defense player of the year award. Like, come on, guy, like we got to make it make sense. And for me, it just didn't add up. So we stopped negotiations and clearly it was just like, all right, well, I just play this out. And so my agent, I told him, like, whatever you do, I don't want to leave here, right? It's negotiators. It's negotiating with Gettleman at the time. And so I didn't want to go nowhere. I want to stay in Carolina. So for all you guys listening, it was not me, okay? I wanted to stay here with you guys. And I wanted to be Carolina through and through, blue and blue, my whole entire career. So just like Luke and a couple other guys. But it was to a point that he felt that there was no negotiation in where we were. And I was so like bothered and upset about it that I cried when I got that rescinded because I was actually going up to sign the tag. People don't realize I was on, like, the tag was out there for, I think, a week or two, something like that. And so I didn't sign it. And the reason why I didn't sign it because we was actually trying to negotiate in good faith before I did that. I didn't want to be locked in and screwed, even though the numbers probably, I think, 12 that year. Still, like, what I was going to do was over that. And I didn't want to get screwed out by, all right, we're going to agree to something, but then it becomes something else. So security is us being on the field playing every down. But if you get hurt, then that completely takes you to a different level. Yep. Right. So we wanted to make sure that was good. And so we was literally, I'd be on the way. I was coming from a funeral and I was going to come up and my phone just started blowing up with text messages left and right, left and right, left and right. And then I didn't even get to the jersey. I saw a jersey that was in Washington, had 24 on it from a dumber I didn't know. So I'm like, what is all this? And I started to read, and right when I got it, I saw a ticker from ESPN. They were sending a tag, and I was like, wait a freaking minute. I'm looking at this on phone. And then my agent, so I answered it. I was like, what just happened? Well, yeah, man, they were sending tax, so now you're a free agent. And mind you, everything has already went down. Race is pretty much over with. We're like not even a week away from the draft.
Yeah, it was like way done.
Like, what the heck? I mean, I'm sitting up here thinking to myself, I sat in my living room for literally, I kid you not, it was at least 12 hours after I got off the road. Because I called Big Cat, I called Vera.
For those that don't know who Big Cat is, that's the former owner, Jerry Richardson.
Jerry Richardson.
Yeah, it's fine. No, you call him Big Cat, we know.
That's kind of how it was, because y'all know how he was. Yeah. Every time he came, it was Josh, my boy. You know how that was. But then it was just, came over, had him. He was like, well, Josh, you know, he said your agent kind of said that's what it was. So kind of let him do what he do. Dang, how you feel? I'm just sitting at your house breaking bread. Like, Mama Schmidt, open the door for us. Like, what do you mean? I sat on your whole couch where everything was just in order, intact, and maids and the servers was giving me sweet tea from Bojangles. Like,
love some sweet tea.
I mean, what we doing?
It was good, boss.
Just a week ago, we was chilling. You know what I'm saying? God dang. I thought the way he was doing, I was going to be in the wheel or something. Like, jeez. But it's cool. So it was just like, dang, all right. I guess this is the new norm.
But that had to hurt a little bit though, right?
Yo, it was like, you understand, it was like something that got pulled from.
Yeah.
And it was just like a part of me just like left my body completely, because this is all I've ever wanted to do and all I want to be.
I remember I got to talk to you right after that happened. Me and you talked on the phone and I said, Josh, I know you're sad because you told me you were hurt. And I didn't know all the details, but you told me you were hurt. I said, Josh, this might be the best thing ever for you. I said, dude, you're 28, 29. When you hit 30, they're going to think you're old. So you actually get to become a free agent before you're considered quote unquote old. Like, bro, you get a chance to break the bank right now. You couldn't be hotter right now. I was like, dude, this is a lifetime opportunity for you. You're going to sign a deal and it's going to change everything for you. Instead of doing this little tag, this is going to be life-changing for you. I remember I told you that. And you did. Like, all right, well, I'm going to try. And you were so sad. And I'm like, dude, this is literally the best thing that ever happened to you.
You did say that, but I was super sharp because you got to think about what we left behind.
I know.
It's like we did not finish what we started. Yep. My last memory was literally like crying on the field, watching the confetti and all that crap go by, knowing that like they may not have this chance again. Who knows? But it was just a moment that I wanted to have with you guys. Was truly like a family. Like this is where I felt like brotherhood truly was.
It was a good team.
I mean, it was like I show up today still for things that happened with this team.
Yeah.
It was that impactful. You know what I mean? Like you got to think the city was never on fire as it was that year. Like, it was
I don't think Charlotte's ever been considered on fire. Except for that time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's just like, I mean, look, coming to work, knowing that your team's continually whooping these teams. And when we showed up to work, our hardest time was doing practice. So we knew it was going to whoop that team's ass when we went there. Yep. Right? So I wanted that feeling again. And knowing that I want to be banging with you guys, knowing I want to be showing up with you guys, and like we had unfinished business, and how I was gonna fade Benet, like Dean, Lou, and all those cats, man. It was heartbreaking. That's what I was really like. You're sharing theatrically. I feel like sharing it because it was that. Like laughing too, but I'm feeling that inside. But it was just like, dang, man, that was so impactful.
Yeah.
You guys meant a lot. And so for me to be in that space, it was just, I had to get over that.
Yeah.
And then like real life hit. So I went back to that jersey and I saw it and I was like, dang, okay, well, shoot, let's entertain it. So I had like four or five teams entertaining me during that time, which is like, we're going to create cap space just for you. And still that number was 70. And I was just like, this is different. It had to happen like that. So it was wild. It was just a wild time. And I'm pretty sure we'll get into that another time. But
I just know it was very unique. I don't know anybody else that had a franchise tag rescinded.
No.
It worked out the way it was supposed to work.
Yeah. I mean,
do you want to ask the last one? Unless you want to tell the people what started you on this whole riding a horse celebration that you.
Oh yeah, Delta.
Yeah.
That you made famous.
We'll let that one kick it.
So I have a horse. Everybody know.
Is Delta still around?
Delta, absolutely. He's definitely still around. Yeah, he hadn't went over yet. Still around. And I actually brought him up from Greenwood and I had him patched out there in a stable where they was keeping them. And I had nice horse handlers. They was looking after them. And one girl, she was definitely taking care of him. And had always gave him treats and always gave him time. So every time he saw me come out, because I at least would go visit him once a week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I would he see me come nudge me on the head and everything, and he was ready to ride. He let me know he ready to ride. So I jumped on him and we go through and I literally open him up. And he's a saddlebred, American saddlebred. So if anybody know those horses, about 15, 16 hands. So it's a pretty good horse, nice disposition. It's almost like the generals. So those are the horses that the generals would ride when they come into battle, stuff like that. So he was one of my horses. And I tell you what, he was the epitome of being at home while kind of still across the border in a sense. He made it feel like I still had, some Greenwood left in me. Yeah. The memorization of everything we went through. So, all right, if I'm doing something, if I'm doing it silly, if I'm want to express myself, because he on his back riding, I was free, going as fast as I wanted to go, turns and everything. So anytime I made a big play or if I touched the end zone, it was kind of like a celebratory moment that I dedicated back to Delta. So I get on that ride, stop, pull, wrap the reins around the saddle horn, and then I get off in a dramatic fashion, and I'm arrived in the stadium.
I like it. It was a good one. It was a good one. Yeah, I enjoyed it. You've had a very different journey of than most people making it to the league. Sure. Who was on your personal Mount Rushmore? Which has about 4 people.
About 4 people?
You got 4 people.
Is it like the Mount Rushmore? Is it during the...
You can make it however you want it. Just in life. It's totally up to you.
It doesn't have to be just football.
It doesn't have to be just football.
It's familiar. It's like my 3 things was like Yahweh and God, which is God, familiar, and it is what I do, which is the game of ball. So those are the 3 main focus factors for me that are always my core principles and my creed was God, La Familia, and whatever I did. And it was football, bar none. So if I had to put it Mount Rushmore, it would be obviously my faith, my family too. This is a good one. Bob Sanders. And Bob Sanders. Be Bob. I didn't really have real role models like that. Like, I guess I wanted to be or emulate anything like that, but it was Bob Sanders and Peyton Manning.
The Colts. Bob Sanders was flying around smacking people.
Smacking ain't the word.
Yeah.
He literally, I was a safety in high school. So I didn't even play corner. Uh-huh. Like I translated into corner when I got to college because I went to college to play safety because my mindset was Bob Sanders, literally all day, every day. I would come down, hit stick and everything, picking off wherever. He was a defensive player of the year.
He was.
It was that was the dude. And my impressionable was that mindset every time, that tenacity that he brought to the game, it was none and void. And when I came to Coastal and they changed my position to corner, I was so pissed because I wanted to be impactful like Bebop. I wanted to come down. I wanted to make those game-changing plays. I wanted to stand somebody up and stand over them and show the guns, all of that. But then I had to go to this island and be content with myself because I knew this guy was not going to beat me off the line. So I had to just sit there and, be bored. Because that was being a safety, you are in the mix. You're affecting the game more. But then, guess what? That was the best thing that possibly could happen to me. Because what I didn't know is God was setting me up for something greater. Mm. Because what those guys got beat compared to the other ones was night and day. Life changing. So it kind of worked out, but that happened. He was one. And then obviously, Peyton Manning, just the field, like everything about that guy and how he was able to just masquerade the entire vision of the game as a general and how he moved people. Like, you can probably tell that the Colts was my team.
Clearly.
Like, everything they did is just enhanced. Every time I played the game, it was, you already know what it was. And I just love, like, being in that mind space. And so that was the Mount Rushmores for me. But then, you know, if I had to add a fifth, all the old corners, like Bad Boys, like the Raiders, those crew, like the Mel Bunts, like him, they affected us. Ronnie Lots, like the old heads that played the game, like Dick LeBeau, like I don't think realized.
Dick LeBeau got put on big numbers.
Huge numbers.
You only get 4. We're not giving you 5.
So I gave 4.
Okay.
I gave you 4.
I'm glad you
I gave 4. I gave 4. But like, if there was anything else, that's my cutoff. Okay,
Yeah.
I gave you that.
I love you, Jay. No,
But
thank you, man.
You guys
Appreciate you
do,
coming on the pod, man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks
Listen.
Thanks for blessing us with some good stories,
like,
some great memories. We appreciate you.
No, I appreciate
Thank
y'all.
you for blessing us, and I appreciate the comment you said. I received that.
That's
I'm sure
good.
you do too. And
No, man.
Peanut's
We
been
had
getting really better at receiving compliments since we've been doing this podcast.
I have.
I think he's grown a lot in that area.
Yeah,
It's
appreciate
opening
it.
up. Like, a lot of people got these pods, right? They got mics. They never got anything to say. So it's like, what's the point?
Right.
I stay away from this stuff. But with you guys, I'm very much so open because I feel like you like my brothers. You are my brothers.
Yeah.
Really, you really are. And coming back is just that whole kid again mentality, mindset.
We never lose. So it just picks right back up.
I swear, man, it's like, it's refreshingly its own uniqueness.
Yeah.
And that we bring together. We got to do more of it. You know what I'm saying?
Most
I mean, I got to
Most
stop.
definitely.
The last time I saw you was a random gas station in Atlanta
It
at like
was.
2:30 in the morning.
It was.
Nobody was
coming
doing
in,
anything
coming
crazy,
out.
people. Nobody doing
No,
anything
it was
crazy.
just so
We
random
just
in
driving,
Atlanta.
walking by each other.
I didn't think you were going to say 2:30 in the morning. I thought you was going to say, I just saw you randomly.
No, it was that.
Yeah, like 2:30. I just pumping my gas
Very
and I saw you
random.
pull.
I think I was going to get a Dr. Pepper and he was like paying for gas. It was crazy.
Straight up. Like, that was what it was.
Oh, man. Well,
But-
look, thank y'all for tuning in. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, NFL, our NFL YouTube channel. Share, like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment. iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. Come check us out. I'm Peanut. That's my guy, J-No. And my man, 50 Grand, Roman Harper. This is the NFL Players Second Acts Podcast. We out.